being able to do the clinical trials that allowed me to go to NIH and be part of the founding of this vaccine research center. What I want is for us to care about all of these 26 virus families that can infect humans, and that we prepare in a systematic way using our basic research capabilities and then using these new technologies for designing countermeasures. We could really be ahead of this, and we could not only know what to do, but we could know how to do it.
When COVID hit, the entire team was ready to respond to this pandemic.
In the better part of 1 year, we were able to get all the way to the vaccine. That's a Herculean feat by any measure.
We had been preparing for this for many, many years. Now was the time where we really had to demonstrate our ability to help the world.
Vanderbilt was uniquely positioned to make a contribution.
This was the culmination of decades of work. Without the investment over the last 20 years, we could not have accomplished this. We made a difference this year.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Even though we're at this time of tremendous uncertainty, one of the things I am certain of is all of you and your coming successes. You're going to go out and change the world. You're going to make it a better place to live. You're going to do things that are just going to amaze everyone and make all of us at Vanderbilt so proud. I just want to thank all of you for being with us for these 4 years, for giving us a chance to work together, to make things better, to learn new things, to discover new things. Arts and science is an amazing place, and it's an amazing place because of all of you, of all of your accomplishments, what you've done, what you're gonna do. You have a set of skills now that's gonna serve you well for the rest of your life. Think back 4 years ago, when you were making the decision about where to go to school, because all of you had choices, but you made a choice, and we are so grateful that choice was Vanderbilt. And all the things that you've learned, all the courses that you've taken, the faculty, the students, the staff, all the people that you've come across, that you've interacted with, that you've learned from, and they've learned from you. All of those things are absolutely true. Think back on that. Realize that this has been an amazing 4-year journey.
Congratulations, seniors. Now, my heart is full because I had the chance to know many of you in your time here, and I know that many of you are using this pause to rethink and reimagine, to innovate and create. And just as many of you came to Vanderbilt and worked hard to make yourselves and this campus better, my heart is warm because I know that you will leave here and use your gifts to make the world a better place.
I have to be honest with you. I really wanted more time with you. I wanted time on those last days of class when we'd see each other across campus. I wanted time in the days before graduation to get to see you and with your families and tell them how proud I am of you. And I really wanted that time on graduation day. When we meet about a year from now for your celebration, I want to hear what you've done with this time.
I hope that you will take all of the growth and experiences that you've had since you first stepped foot onto Vanderbilt's campus and use it to walk in the purpose that only you've been created to do after this.
At this time, you think the class of 2020 is going to be defined by COVID-19. And of course, it's part of that history. There's no debate about that. It will be a defining moment in lots of ways. But the true defining moment is all that you've accomplished over these 4 years.
Some of you who began the study of economics with me, you may remember that I told you, with a bit of a smile on my face, that I wanted to change the way you think. I really meant it. And I hope that I have, and I hope that Vanderbilt has done the same thing for you.
Commencement is all about celebrations and congratulations. But we shouldn't forget its true meaning, a beginning. Your commencement ceremony has been deferred, but you must still begin. Whether it's scientific research or social justice, pathology, or poetry, your minds and labors are going to be critical to this defining moment. I wish you every luck as you begin.
In the past 2 months, you have demonstrated resilience, strength, and the ability to take the bull by the horns, as we would say in Spain. Now it's your time. Think big, work hard, support the community, and tag us in your adventures. we would like to hear from you.
I'm wishing you the deepest and most heartfelt congratulations on behalf of myself and everyone from MHS. We're so proud of you and really just celebrate all of your amazing accomplishments. We're sending you out into a complicated world, but I have no doubt that you will rise to the challenge.
I know that this year did not end the way that any of us expected, but I am so proud and hopeful knowing that each of you will take what you have learned over the last 4 years and use it to make our world a better place.
I know it's hard not to have a graduation ceremony, but I'm a little bit glad about that because for once I'm not going to have to cry behind my sunglasses while you all walk across the stage. But what I really want to say is congratulations on all your achievements here at Vanderbilt. We will always be here for you, and please keep in touch so that we can hear about all the amazing things that you do in the years to come.
Congratulations to the class of 2020 from me and my dog, Reggie.
It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I wish you all the best in your next adventures.
Come back and visit. I will look forward to catching up and seeing you.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations.
Congratulations to the class of 2020.
I know, and I've known for a long time, you're going to change the world. Congratulations, class of 2020. We are so proud of you.
Now you're going to go out and, as I say, conquer the world. And given the current turmoil that we're facing, we need you to conquer that world like tomorrow. No, don't wait. Please do it tomorrow because we need you right now. Congratulations again, and be safe and be well.
I miss Vanderbilt. I miss everything. Wow.
I just have tons of memories.
It really has always been the people that have made me fall in love with Vanderbilt.
I think that was the hardest thing about leaving was that I built such a beautiful life there, and it was just hard to see that leave in such a short time.
The most difficult thing about this for me as a senior was that, within a few days, all of a sudden you have to kind of say your last goodbyes and start telling those stories and reminiscing a little bit and kind of compress that all into just a few days. And I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to do that.
I went line dancing one last time. I tried to do all these last minute bucket list things.
But I think something that I have been trying to remind myself is it's really good to feel that sense of missing a place and missing people, because that means that I've made 3.75 years so much more worth it than whatever this last season would have held.
It makes you appreciate what you got.
Honestly, I think that the most simple times that I spend with my suite mates and just relaxing together and sharing about our days.
By far, it's the showcases, the cultural showcases, so the Diwali Showcase and Lunar New Year Festival. Those are just the most fun experiences.
Definitely my experience with Blair. I can say it's my first Vanderbilt home.
I mean, I've made so many incredible friends at Vanderbilt, and so many friends that are really, really different from me, not only in terms of interests, but also in terms of values and background and dreams and all those things. And that is such an incredible gift, really.
I found this one video of me filming my friend riding a bike for the first time.
Keep going!
And teaching her how to ride a bike. And for that brief moment, it was the most success I'd ever felt as a student.
I guess maybe what I didn't fully appreciate when I first came to Vanderbilt was not only that I would develop as a person and that I would, kind of hone existing skills, but that I would, develop new values, if that makes sense, or, find passions and find ways to work on things that I never would have thought of before.
I don't know, I feel a lot more confident because, going into the next step, I'd always really worried about adulthood, but I kind of look at it as, okay, in 4 years, I built a wonderful support system. I made really genuine, amazing friendships, and I gained skills and hobbies, and I built a beautiful life.
I want to give a shout out to Sharon, the Rand Cookie Lady. You also took me to church so many times. Thank you. Thank you for being an awesome woman and encouraging me every time I went to get a Rand cookie.
Definitely gonna miss Rand cookies. I wish I could have just one more. That's the theme. It's like, I wish I could just have one more of everything. But until then, I guess goodbye.
Thank you.
Congrats, class of 2020.
We made it.
I'm proud of us, and I'll see you guys in 2021 at the celebration.
Oh, yeah. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come now, Vandy. We started out remotely. Now we're almost done with 2020. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just take a good look around. But don't touch anyone, keep your social distance. We're still together, still anchoring down. Yeah, you're still the one I call school, even with all these new rules. You're still the place I teach online or in person sometimes. You're still the one that I love. We anchored down and we stepped up. I'm still a Commodore for life. Ain't nothing better than spitting in a test tube together. I'm thankful we all listened to 10,000 daily emails from Kirkland. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. To our sanity, we're more or less together, still going Nashville strong. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome back to all our 2020 Vanderbilt University graduates, and welcome to all our graduate families and guests. We're glad to have all you early risers here as we kick off the opening ceremonies of the Vanderbilt University commencement exercises for the class of 2020. I'm Natalie Erb, Associate Director of Residential Colleges, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today to celebrate your commencement. The class of 2020 holds a special place in all of our hearts, and we are so happy to welcome you back in person and virtually for a long overdue celebration. As a reminder, please observe all health safety protocols that appear on the screen periodically. Throughout the morning, I'll share hosting responsibilities with one of my great colleagues. Please join me in saying hello to the Director of the Provost Office for Inclusive Excellence, Franklin Ellis. Good morning, Franklin.
Good morning, Natalie. Delighted to be here and to welcome our 2020 graduates, both those joining us here at the stadium and those watching online.
Franklin, tell us a little of what you have in store for us this morning.
We will give you a bit of a backstage look at how we're keeping things in order. We'll also hear from one of our celebrated alums who is now on staff and bring you a message from one of our distinguished deans.
Awesome. Thanks, Franklin. We'll be checking back with you very soon. Today we come together with great joy to commemorate not only what you achieved in your years at Vanderbilt, but we celebrate what you've accomplished since graduation. Many have continued your education in postgraduate studies. Others have already excelled in your professional endeavors. In the course of our program, we'll be highlighting some of the amazing ways Vanderbilt graduates, faculty, and staff are making a difference in our world.
We start planning for commencement about September each year. We start with letting the graduates and their parents know that they're eligible to participate in May. We start contacting vendors, we start working on the website, getting all the updates, getting the schools informed, and getting as much information as we possibly can locked in the fall. So that way we can have the schedule ready to post on our website. And then in the spring is when we start moving forward and all the pieces come together.
This is not a typical year.
This year we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to have graduates in person.
We had about 3 months to plan a safe and socially distant commencement ceremony for both classes, class of 2020 and class of 2021.
Decisions, a lot of them were staggered. So whether we were going to have an in-person ceremony, as well as whether we were going to be able to have guests and how many guests.
Immediately you're thinking about where are we going to put 1,500 graduates 6 feet apart. So immediately we thought Vanderbilt Stadium. We can accommodate 1,500 to 1,600 students plus guests.
Contingencies on contingencies. Everyone on campus, including our team, has just such a passion for these students, and we want to make sure that they can have the best day that they possibly can.
Each graduate will check in at the Memorial Practice Gym, and there are arrows and floor decals to indicate where students should stand and how they should get through that process. It's a touchless process. They will show their phones to indicate that they are eligible to graduate. So each chair on the field is 6 feet apart to abide by the Public Health Department permit that we were approved to host this commencement ceremony.
So some of the traditions that we like to hold on to are the graduates walking across the stage and having their names called.
We added an additional ramp, again, to abide by the social distancing protocols to allow the graduates to walk across the stage. We want to ensure that every graduate is recognized. So those who cannot attend, we have an online streaming process during the commencement ceremony. So those who were unable to attend in person can tune in online, and they will be recognized through our streaming process.
Congratulations, class of 2020. We're so glad that you were able to make it back here to celebrate with us. And for those that are watching at home, we're glad that you're able to watch and enjoy today.
I just want to congratulate the class of 2020. You are special. I'm so glad that I was able to play a role in your ceremony, and I just want to continue to congratulate you on this milestone achievement, and I wish you the best.
We're here with Regan Bustamante. Regan Bustamante is track and field, and she's now a grad student at Virginia Tech. Hello, Regan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so glad to be here.
We are so happy to have you. So Regan, tell us, how did Vanderbilt prepare you for grad school at Virginia Tech?
Oh, it helped me so much when I'm preparing for grad school here. You know, it's just like a work ethic like no other you develop at Vanderbilt. And so it really just helped me transition really smoothly to grad school life.
And what are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in public administration.
Oh, that is amazing. And so ultimately, when you graduate with your master's degree, what is it that you want to go out in the world and do?
You know, I just want to really make an impact on the community around me. So I'm joining MITRE this summer as an org change intern based in McLean, and I think that's going to be a great start to making an impact on the world.
Well, thank you for that. Regan, we appreciate you being here and for sharing what you're doing now and where you plan to go in the future. And until then, anchor down.
Thanks, anchor down.
Nashville has a complicated history with race and justice. Racially motivated bombings took place in 1957 at Hattie Cotton Elementary, following Nashville school desegregation. In 1960, another bomb went off at the house of civil rights attorney Z. Alexander Luby in response to boycotts of white-owned businesses and lunch counter sit-ins.
And for the first time, the community was confronted with Negroes in places where they had never been.
At the same time, Nashville has served as an important center for civil rights leaders, including Diane Nash, Reverend James Lawson, George Barrett, and many others. This summer, in the wake of George Floyd's murder, Nashville emerged as the site of racial justice protests and gave rise to vibrant new voices, such as Caroline Randall Williams. Vanderbilt itself has known some of these contrasts. The university was founded in the heart of the post-Civil War South to help heal racial and geographic divisions. Trailblazers like Perry Wallace, Reverend Lawson, and Dr. Levi Watkins were educated at Vanderbilt, and yet they confronted bitter racism in their time. Women like Susan Wiltshire and Elizabeth Langland were still fighting for equal treatment at the university as late as the 1980s. Today, Vanderbilt has made a strong commitment to work for an equitable, diverse, and inclusive campus. We are drawing on our academic mission to advance social and racial justice more broadly. The new Vanderbilt project on unity and American democracy is upholding this very goal. Through conversations and original content, the project seeks to restore facts and evidence to our national discourse and to bridge our differences in doing so. The details of the story have changed along the way, but the fight for freedom and racial justice is as strong as ever.
For much of mainstream Vanderbilt, the history of the Black experience was two people, James Lawson, Perry Wallace. Those are kind of like those are our flagship go-to Black stories of Vanderbilt. And there's so many other people and so many other stories and so many other parts of our history that we need to claim. The Lawson the Ivy research project that I've been working on for the better part of 10 years at least now, it started out as kind of an accident kind of thing. I wasn't planning to study the history and experience of Black people at Vanderbilt. But I went to a dedication ceremony for Murray House, and in the context of taking in the atmosphere and the environment and all the people who were there, I realized that he had to be pretty significant, but I realized I didn't know anything about him. So it grew, and grew from one to study simply Walter Murray to, hey, let's document and preserve like the evolution of this Black experience across time. Officially, there have been probably easily over 500 interviews.
For stories that are often untold, unknown, maybe only shared in very small groups, I think that having this project, I think it's just invaluable.
Just this huge archive of so much material at this point in time, from the interviews, from the photos, from events that have happened on campus, any and everything pertaining to the Black experience, I've captured and documented and preserved. The Lawson the Ivy project has been tremendously received within the community of Black alums from Vanderbilt. This is their moment. This is their moment to kind of tell their story. This is their moment to feel like they mattered, to feel like they had a voice, to feel like they have something to contribute to those who are coming after them.
I think it is, I guess, somewhat of a surprise, right, to know that what I view as somewhat of just an ordinary life experience is a huge contributing factor to this long lineage of valuable history for the university.
The project is valuable in a greater sense for the greater community, just in terms of shining light on the fact that we have these different experiences, and you play a part in that, directly or indirectly. We all are shaping each other's Vanderbilt experience, for good or for bad. You impact the experiences of every other student that's on this campus in a positive way, in the sense that we can be very inclusive in our friendships and in trying to make sure that we're making sure that everybody feels welcome, belong, but also in a negative way. In a negative way in the sense that we haven't directly tried to establish connections with people who don't look like us. We haven't asked ourselves those difficult questions of, when I find myself in a place in space with a bunch of people who don't look like me, am I asking the questions about, why is it that I don't see people around who don't look like me? Is it that this is an environment that creates that? Or is there something that I can be doing to kind of change that? So you can take the stories and experiences of everything that you've heard and that you continue to hear, and then act on it.
A little more about the narrators of the two important videos you just watched. Dr. Andre Churchwell is himself a Vanderbilt alumnus, graduating magna cum laude in the class of 1975. In addition to serving as Chief Diversity Officer and Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, he is an esteemed cardiologist, a professor of medicine, radiology, and radiological sciences, a professor of biomedical engineering, and a nationally recognized leader in his fields. It's been 27 years since Dr. Roosevelt Noble began his relationship with Vanderbilt University as an incoming freshman. Today, in addition to serving as senior lecturer in sociology and as the director of the Bishop Joseph Johnson Black Cultural Center, Dr. Noble serves as an assistant dean of residential colleges and faculty head of Stanbaugh House. Our thanks to both of these leaders for their ongoing significant contributions in support of our students and our university community.
Congratulations.
I know it's hard not being able to celebrate with your classmates and your friends and your family.
I want you to know how proud we are of the class of 2020.
I know things are a little crazy right now.
Our sense of normal will be very different for quite some time, and it's okay to be feeling uneasy about the future.
Looking back on everything and all the experiences that you have had at Vandy.
Reflect on how quickly the years went by and how good times felt, how bad times felt, the people you were with. It all went by so fast. It meant so much.
I wish you guys well. I'm sorry things aren't looking the way that you thought they were going to.
If I've learned one thing, sometimes the best things that happen in our lives are things that are not planned.
Move forward with a perspective of courage and not fear.
You will be able to conquer and prevail. You've made it over the hump. That's it. You made it. How amazing is that? The best is yet to come.
Make sure you finish strong and anchor down.
You guys are going to be part of an amazing community of alumni.
Congratulations on making it to the finish line.
You guys are great. I pray that you're going to do great things. So congratulations and go Doors.
You have the chance to change the world.
Welcome to the alumni ranks. We're glad to have you.
And I wish you all the best. Anchor down, my fellow Doors.
You may not know it, but there's 140,000 alumni out there.
The one thing that I've learned is that you can always count on Vanderbilt to help you out.
We are here for you. Your families, your support structures. Focus on the future and remember that you are equipped with all the tools that you need for success.
And never stop dreaming.
Congratulations. The Vanderbilt community is very happy for you, and we can't wait to welcome you into this alumni network.
I hope that you are so proud of all the things that you've accomplished this past 4 years at Vanderbilt.
Because Vanderbilt is truly for life.
I know you're going to be successful because Vanderbilt has prepared you to be such, and I cannot wait to see what y'all accomplish in the future. So good luck and anchor down, y'all.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Through it all, you conquered and prevailed.
Ugly. Please don't be ugly. Please. Oh my God!
Walk with me, and as we wander down the crowded street, even if we're shuffling our feet, you make me never want to miss a beat. We're meant to be.
Welcome to our 2020 graduates and your guests who are just arriving. We want to remind you to remain masked and to observe 6 feet between you and other graduates and guests at all times to protect both your health and safety and the safety of everyone else. Commencement at Vanderbilt has a long history and is full of pageantry. Here's a short guide to some of the ceremonial icons you'll see today. First, there's the seal, featuring founder Cornelius Vanderbilt in profile. It was first displayed during commencement for the class of 1975. Fun fact, the oak leaves and acorns that encircle him and that appear in the official university logo were selected because they appear on the Vanderbilt family's coat of arms. Next, there's the mace, which symbolizes Vanderbilt's authority to confer degrees. It was first carried by the chair of the Faculty Senate during commencement in 1969. On the panels of the mace are images of the magnolia tree, which is common on campus and usually in bloom this time of year, and the tall bearded iris, which is the Tennessee state flower. And last, there's the Chancellor's Chain of Office, which includes a medallion featuring the seal of the university. It was first worn in 1978. The 10-sided silver frame of the medallion symbolizes the university's 10 schools. All of these symbols will be part of our commencement ceremony today. With some fun facts on our past and present, let's go to Franklin.
Thanks, Natalie. As we watch our 2020 graduates walk into the stadium, you can feel the excitement in the air, and we're so happy that we were able to make this commencement a reality. Now for some fun facts. In October 1875, Vanderbilt's first academic year, 102 students were enrolled. Since then, the student population has grown from almost 100-fold. In fall of 2020, registration had grown to more than 12,000 students, undergraduate, graduate, and professional students. For the academic year ending in May 2020, there were almost 1,700 students who were conferred undergraduate degrees and more than 2,100 who received graduate or professional degrees. Vanderbilt is consistently ranked among the top 15 universities in the nation. Vanderbilt is among the top 20 U.S. universities receiving federal funding for research and development. Among our alumni base of almost 150,000 graduates are Nobel Prize winners, members of Congress, governors, ambassadors, judges, admirals, CEOs, university presidents, social activists, and professional sports figures. Vanderbilt's 1,800 faculty members are nationally and internationally esteemed for their research contributions, and their number is set to grow through Destination Vanderbilt, a $100 million faculty expansion and recruitment initiative launched in the fall of 2020. Opportunity Vanderbilt, our undergraduate financial aid program, has been recognized as the best in nation, meeting 100% of demonstrated need and need-blind admissions policies. The highly respected Princeton Review ranks Vandy as #1 for financial aid and #2 for happiest students. Now, let's happily return to Natalie.
That was a lot of fun facts. Not only is Vanderbilt on the move, so is the city of Nashville. It's ranked the #1 metropolitan area in economic strength by Polycom, the #2 best college town by Princeton Review, the #3 best big city for jobs in the U.S. by Forbes, and the #4 best city to start a business by Inc. magazine. Given the robust nature of our community, it's no wonder that Amazon, AllianceBernstein, and a number of tech companies are looking to the future in Nashville. Under the leadership of Chancellor Daniel Diermeier, the university is leveraging its strong financial position, its location in the dynamic and evolving southeastern United States, and its excellence in research and education to elevate the university's profile, reputation, and impact during this historic time. Now let's return to Franklin.
Thanks, Natalie. We speak of this being a historic graduation, and definitely is for many reasons. One of those is that this is the first time that Vanderbilt has held its commencement exercises at the stadium. To provide us with a little history about the stadium, here with me now is 1992 Vanderbilt alumnus Andrew Marinis. In addition to being a special projects coordinator for Vanderbilt Athletics, Andrew is the New York Times best-selling author of Strong Inside, the story of Vanderbilt basketball great and trailblazer Percy Wallace, who was the first African-American to play varsity basketball in the SEC. Welcome, Andrew.
Vanderbilt graduate and a visiting author. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's commencement ceremonies. My name is Andrew Marinus, and I'm a 1992 Vanderbilt graduate and a visiting author at Vanderbilt Athletics. I want to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about the history of this place where we've gathered today, Vanderbilt Stadium, which will celebrate its 100th birthday next year in 2022, making it one of the most historic college football stadiums in the country. Now, the stadium has undergone a few renovations over the years, but it has sat on this same spot in this same horseshoe design ever since it was built in 1922. Vanderbilt boasted the premier college football program in the South at that time and one of the finest in the country. The stadium was originally called Dudley Field in honor of William Dudley, a Vanderbilt medical professor and dean who was a leading force behind the creation of the Vanderbilt Athletic Department and the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Association, which was the precursor to the SEC, and he was also one of the original leaders of the NCAA. When this stadium was constructed, it was considered the first stadium built exclusively for football in the South, and the largest stadium in the region too, with an original capacity of 20,000. The stadium has doubled in size to hold 40,000 today. For nearly a century, this is where Vanderbilt students, alumni, parents, faculty, staff, and the Nashville community have come to cheer on the black and gold on Saturdays. Kind of like today, just with more tackling and Gatorade. When we watch our new Vanderbilt graduates march down on the field today, they'll be following in some pretty amazing football footsteps. Did you know that Bear Bryant, Buddy Ryan, and Bill Parcells roamed these sidelines as Vanderbilt assistant coaches, as did Steve Belichick? You may have heard of his son Bill, who was born at Vanderbilt Hospital. More than 100 Commodores who played here went on to the NFL, as did David Culley, the new head coach of the Houston Texans, Shelton Quarles, director of football operations for the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and our own Vanderbilt head coach, Clark Lee. Opponents who have played here include Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, all the Mannings, Reggie White, LaDainian Tomlinson, Bart Starr, and Joe Namath, just to name a few. When the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, they played here at Vanderbilt Stadium in 1998 while their downtown stadium was under construction. And the Music City Bowl was played here that year as well. Just this past fall, history was made here when our own Sarah Fuller became the first woman to score in a Power 5 football game, kicking 2 extra points against Tennessee on December 12th. She also recorded a video introduction to Vice President Kamala Harris from the corner of the end zone for the inauguration telecasts in January, which is a good reminder that Vanderbilt Stadium has hosted some pretty amazing non-football events over the years. In fact, lights were first installed at the stadium in 1954 to accommodate a Billy Graham speech. In May of 1963, President John F. Kennedy spoke here to commemorate the university's 90th anniversary, and there have been some big concerts here too. Close your eyes and imagine Luke Bryan, Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones, U2, Beyonce, and Jay-Z all performing to sold-out crowds in this space. So unless you played football, you probably never imagined that one of the most memorable days of your life would take place in an SEC stadium. But I know you'll never forget where you were when you saw your loved one graduate from Vanderbilt. So enjoy this historic day and your time at Vanderbilt Stadium, everybody. Congratulations, and anchor down.
Not everyone who graduates from Vanderbilt becomes a star, but our next guest certainly has. Chris Mann, a 2004 graduate of the Blair School of Music, has made dozens of television appearances, including his own specials, and a run as a contestant on NBC's The Voice. He also toured in the title role of the Phantom of the Opera and maintains a successful recording career. Although a serious musician, Chris has a lighter side that he showcased with a crazy quilt of parody songs that have made him a viral sensation during the pandemic. Here he demonstrates that he hasn't forgotten his Commodore roots. To introduce him, we go to one of his most familiar settings on campus, the Blair School of Music. Kudos to the staff at Blair for their innovation and determination in making performances, senior recitals, and other events possible, even amid the pandemic. Now to introduce a famous alum is Associate Professor of Voice, Director of Vanderbilt Opera Theater, and the Chair of the Vanderbilt Voice Department, Dr. Gail Shea.
Hello, my name is Gail Shea, and I'm the Director of Vanderbilt Opera Theater at the Blair School of Music. I am pleased to introduce our former student, Chris Mann, who I had the pleasure of directing in many productions during his time at Vanderbilt. Chris was always counted on to bring his particular flair to every role he inhabited. He often had us laughing in the rehearsal room, and I'm remembering one particular dance number that, well, let's just say that dance was not exactly Chris's strength at the time. We at Blair are very proud of the artist Chris has become since he graduated. Not only has he had terrific success as a recording artist, his first two albums, Roads and Constellation, hit #1 on the Billboard's Heatseeker chart and appeared on the Billboard Top 200 and iTunes charts. He has also continued to thrive on the Lyric Theater stage, most recently in the title role of the 25th anniversary tour of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. He was hailed by critics as the best Phantom since Michael Crawford and donned the iconic mask more than 700 times. Obviously, he finally learned to dance. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Chris turned his frustration with lockdown while raising two small children and the sudden end of all in-person creative work into hilarious musical parodies, which have garnered more than 60 million views on YouTube and have been featured on news outlets all over the world, including NPR, CNN, The Today Show, BBC News, The New Yorker, and more. These parodies are just the latest example of how Chris has used his education and experience at Vanderbilt to impact the world. I know he will continue to find ways to bring joy to people through his music and his humor. Thank you so much for performing for us today, Chris. For the rest of us, enjoy.
Breakfast at Branscombe and rec center smoothies, towers before they blew up in smithereens, baseball glove lounge for some quote studying. These are my favorite Vanderbilt things. Vandy cart shopping and Anchor Down Spirit, Blair School and Melodor singing so legit, opposite ends for both basketball teams weird. These are my favorite Vanderbilt things. Rites of spring lineups with Feist and Lady A. After I left here, they brought in Beyonce. Nights out on Broadway for honky-tonking. These are my favorite Vanderbilt things. When my job bites, when my day stinks, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my Vanderbilt things, and then I don't feel so bad. Oh, Al Gore and Betty Page both went to school here. So did World Series champion Walker Buehler. Chris Stapleton dropped out to go win Grammys. We'll still claim them. These are my favorite Vanderbilt things. Come on, guys. Peabody College for learning, or Frisbee. Squirrels will soon replace all of our faculty. Vandy and Dolly cured COVID-19. No big deal. These are my favorite Vanderbilt things. Gosh, I really wish I was still in school here. Good thing I come back for homecoming each year. I'm Vandy for life on this day of giving. I love all my favorite Vanderbilt things. When my job bites, when my day stinks, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my Vanderbilt things, and then I don't feel so depressed, really. When my job sucks, when my day really stinks, when I'm feeling kinda old and sad, I simply remember my Vanderbilt things, and then I don't feel so bad. Take me back.
Thank you to Chris Mann, just one of our many talented and accomplished alumni, a group that now includes you. You may not have realized it then, but on the day you were accepted to Vanderbilt, you began a lifelong relationship with this university. Vanderbilt was committed to your success as a student then, and it's equally committed to your success today as an alum. The Vanderbilt Alumni Association serves as a vital link between alumni and the university and each other. We encourage you to sign up for virtual webinars, network with your fellow alumni on the university's LinkedIn page, follow our alumni channels on social media, and explore the many alumni programs and events offered. You are a student for just a few short years, but you are Vanderbilt for life. Now let's go back to Franklin.
Thanks, Natalie. It truly is a great and a wonderful feeling to be here watching all our 2020 graduates walk into the stadium, making history for having our commencement exercises here in the stadium today for the first time. It's now my honor to introduce Vice Provost for the Academic Affairs and Dean of Residential Faculty, Vanessa Beasley, who has a special message for the class of 2020.
Good morning, class of 2020. For those of you that came to Vanderbilt as first-year students, I remember when we welcomed you and your parents as you drove up to the Ingram Commons. And I remember shedding a few tears when your parents pulled away and you were in your new houses. For the transfer students, I can remember when we welcomed you and your parents to come join us at Vanderbilt. Today, of course, what's really important to remember is all the progress you've made in the time since you came here the first time. And we're so proud to welcome you back for this very special day. Class of 2020, you're a class like no other. We're proud of you, we celebrate you, and we know you're going to change the world.
Thank you, Vice Provost Beasley. Now, I turn your attention to the screen for a message from Chancellor Daniel Diermeier.
At this critical milestone, I'm proud of the resilience, dedication, and compassion our Vanderbilt community has shown to each other and to the world. Throughout this past year, students have shown grit and accountability, whether learning in person or thousands of miles away. Staff members have remained committed to essential work on campus. Others have proven that collaboration can thrive, even when we work remotely. Our faculty and postdoctoral researchers have adapted to new technology and have stepped up to the myriad challenges of this unique year. They have embraced new approaches to teaching our students while tirelessly working on their research. And yet, despite breakthroughs and silver linings, nothing can fully make up for the hardships of this year. There has been tremendous sacrifice, isolation, and the loss of so much we hold dear. This year has been difficult. But it is often in these times that people reach their highest potential. Together, we have stepped up in the face of crisis. We recommitted ourselves to our mission and to each other, and thus we made this year our proudest moment. Your efforts have proven that there's no limit to what we can achieve, and they have set the stage for great things ahead. Thank you for your hard work and the profound contributions that make Vanderbilt such a special place for us all.
Successfully navigating the changes of the past year was an enormous task. We may think first of professors and students, but they're far from the only ones who had to put forth their own ingenuity and dedication to keep the university running smoothly. New protocols were required in every area, and our staff of approximately 4,500 rose to the occasion beautifully. These people are among the many who'd like to welcome you back to campus and congratulate you.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You did it.
You have earned it. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Class of 2020, congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Congratulations, class of 2020.
We are tremendously happy and proud to celebrate this moment with you.
Whether you're participating at home or you're here with us on campus,
we are so happy to celebrate your commencement.
It's been an incredibly challenging year, and you have more than earned this celebration.
We cannot wait to celebrate commencement with you.
You've more than earned this celebration.
We're so happy to celebrate your commencement.
This has been an incredible end to your 4 years.
And the class of 2020 will both be remembered for perseverance and resilience in the face of unforeseen challenges.
You've waited a long time for this, 1 whole year.
You have lived through a moment in history, an unforgettable moment in history with all of its challenges.
But guess what? You made it.
I implore you, enjoy your celebration.
We're so excited to celebrate with you.
We're extremely proud of you and your accomplishments.
We're very proud of you.
And can't wait to welcome you in person to our alumni chapters soon.
Your perseverance over the past year is so admirable, and now it's time to celebrate.
Congratulations again to us, the class of 2020.
We hope you celebrate in style.
Best of luck going forward.
Go Doors.
Anchor down.
Go Doors!
Onward and upward, and anchor down.
We join our faculty, staff, and alumni in welcoming back our 2020 graduates and their guests who are just arriving. As a reminder, please follow the health safety guidelines that appear periodically on the screen. We know there's a natural tendency to congregate in the concourses and walkways to visit, but please move to your pre-assigned seating. Thank you. No doubt you've read national news stories over the course of the past year and heard Vanderbilt mentioned in the context of COVID research and vaccine development. Or you've turned on your TV and seen an interview with one of our leading investigators, or the news that Dolly Parton herself donated $1 million to support vaccine development at VUMC. Perhaps there's never been more concrete evidence of the impact faculty, staff, and students of this university and medical center have made in this world. With a greater emphasis every year, Vanderbilt is synonymous with landmark research and ambitious endeavors, ranging from anthropology and ecology to bioengineering and economics. Let's shift gears and return to a simpler time, fall of 2016. Well, it could have been a simpler time if you hadn't brought far more stuff to your Commons house than your room could possibly hold. But look at the enthusiasm. These are some people who are definitely ready to anchor down.
I'm here because I'm so excited to welcome the class of 2020 to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is where I love.
We want your first experience at Vanderbilt University to be one of full-hearted welcome, the warmest welcome we hope they've ever received.
I've had parents like cry because they're like, oh my God, we don't have to move anything. It's so nice.
Oh yeah!
New Jersey in Vandy.
Woo! How do you feel about your parents wearing giant Commodore hats?
They're crazy.
They're crazy. But we knew that.
Yours!
I can feel a lot of excitement from everyone, and it's just feeding me. I'm really excited and really hyped to be here. I love the campus. I love the city. It had the college feel, so it's the perfect fit.
This is my Vanderbilt!
It perfectly balances the two most important things in my life, and that's being social and my academics.
They're the future. They're the hope. They're coming with enthusiasm, passion, great potential, and they make the university and become fine young people that will change the world.
This class of 2020 isn't just the first class of the next decade. They're also going to see some other firsts here at Vanderbilt. So they'll be the first to go to the Innovation Center. They'll be the first in the new Engineering and Science building. They'll be the first to experience the Center for Student Wellbeing. It's all a whole number of firsts, just like this first day here for them.
This is my Vanderbilt! Woo!
This is my Vanderbilt.
Anchor down!
Everybody that I get to spend the day with is excited to be here and wants to make the most of the experience here, and anxious to make the kinds of connections that I think the Commons allows them to make.
Hi guys! Welcome to Stand By.
really preview is what solidified it for me. When they did the student panel, I was just so impressed with how amazing the students are here. And I was like, you know what? I can be that.
After preview, I knew that I could take her to Vanderbilt and leave and feel like she was in the perfect place. So, I mean, we're gonna miss her, of course, but I can't think of a better place for her to be.
And my advice to him would be to think. Don't forget why you're here. This is my Vanderbilt.
I'm building some furniture here that may or may not fall apart in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, it's exciting, it's bittersweet, and in between traumatic and thrilling, I would say.
Vanderbilt is a nice median between engineering and music, which are both passions that I have.
What advice do you have for your son?
Oh my gosh. I wrote him a letter, so most of it's on there, but I want him to have a really good time. I'm doing the ugly cry. He's an old soul, and he's always been very independent, super smart, and a nice guy overall. So I just want him to have a good time, enjoy the next 4 years.
This is my Vanderbilt.
Happy move-in day.
I hope that brought back some fun memories from 4 years ago. That energy that you ushered into your first year was, of necessity, transformed into tenacity as you weathered the storms of upheaval caused by the pandemic. But you persisted. We've captured some students' thoughts about how they have persisted over the past year.
I keep thinking about wow, when I tell my kids 15 years down the line or something, yeah, I lived through this pandemic that literally shut down the world.
I can't imagine really thinking about what it would feel like if I didn't have the coronavirus ending my college right now, because it's so much of the now.
It's difficult to be having this life transition almost virtually, where you can't connect with people in the same way.
I don't know, when you think about history, you think about it just moving so fast, but right now life is so slow. I see a lot of TikToks about making jokes about kids in 2045 trying to answer questions about COVID-19 on their tests and their history classes and whatnot.
Yeah, I was learning about self-isolation, so I just stayed at home and didn't speak to anyone. Very good indeed. I hope you did minimal exercise as well.
And it's just kind of weird to be living through that and being the class that didn't get to graduate.
And I think the longer that we stay in this kind of lockdown mode, the more things evolve. So I guess the more compassion we'll have when we leave. Somebody was saying that we'll all be more humble.
And I feel this might be for the best, honestly, just as we're having to address a lot of things that the world has never had to think about, just income equality, just people can't work, the education system.
But I think 10 to 20 years from now, I'll look back and I'll realize how much stronger we all became because of this. I think that's what we'll learn to focus on rather than the things that we lost. It's the things that we gained.
I want you to take a moment to look around the stadium. Why? Because Vanderbilt Athletics is on the threshold of a landmark transformation. The university recently launched the Vandy United Fund to invest $300 million in student athletes and athletic programs. Vandy United will elevate each varsity sport at Vanderbilt, transform the athletics footprint on campus, build the best student-athlete experience in college athletics, and create an immersive game day experience for Commodore Nation.
We are Vanderbilt.
And we are united, past, present, and future, with the strong wind of history at our backs.
We chart our next course.
United by the possibilities before us.
One Commodore Nation.
In Nashville.
In Tennessee.
And around the world.
Students.
Faculty.
Staff. Alumni.
Parents.
Fans.
We believe the potential is limitless.
We believe there are no shortcuts.
We believe that we are our best when we are together.
We have each other's back.
On the field,
In the classroom,
and beyond.
the work is hard.
But we are made for this moment.
A new generation of champions.
new reasons to cheer.
Together.
The future of Vanderbilt athletics starts here.
With us.
With us.
With us.
With us.
We are Vandy United.
Anchor down.
The Vandy United Fund will invest in new facilities and upgrades to provide student athletes with every ability to maximize their full potential. Major facilities projects include a football operations center, a basketball operations center, an indoor football practice facility, and an expanded McGugin Center that will benefit all teams and will include a new sports performance center. While we prioritize building an infrastructure that directly and immediately impacts our student athletes' experience, we will also improve the fan experience with tangible upgrades starting right here in Vanderbilt Stadium. Design is underway and detailed facilities plans will be unveiled this summer, so stay tuned. Exciting days are ahead for our athletes, coaching staff, students, alumni, and fans. While we're focused on sports, several staff members of Vanderbilt Athletics would like to extend their best wishes to our 2020 graduates.
Hey, class of 2020, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. I know that 2020 was a year like no other, but I also hope that you know you're more prepared to deal with anything that comes your way. You're resilient, you're strong, you're courageous, and you're Commodores for life. We're so proud of you. Anchor down.
Welcome back, class of 2020. Whether you're watching at home or here on campus, it's great to have you back. Your senior year was one of the toughest that any of us can remember, but you stuck it out. You finished strong, and now you're here to celebrate. The fact that you made time a year later to celebrate your commencement tells me just how committed you are to this community, to your friends, your teachers, and all that you experienced here. One of the things I love most about Vanderbilt is we're not just a university, but we're family. Our players come back year after year to train with our current students, to mentor them, and to guide them. Our current students know that we and our alumni have their backs, and we have your back, class of 2020. I hope you'll be that same example, that same support system for the class of 21 and all of the generations of Commodores yet to come. Congratulations. We're proud of you. We love you, and we wish you the very best.
You wonder how they do it. You look to see the knack. You watch the foot in action, or the shoulder, or the back.
That's good. Let's try it
one more time.
But when you spot the answer, where the higher glamours lurk, that most of it is practice. And the rest of it is work.
Hey Franklin, I'm so glad to have you up here in the booth with me. How exciting is this day?
Very exciting. It's a beautiful sunny day. We have these amazing 2020 graduates here in the stadium for the first time, and I'm so excited to be a part of the festivities today.
I know, I feel like I can almost taste the excitement as people are getting ready to walk across the stage. You know, I've been here at Vanderbilt for almost 10 years, and I have to say, this is doing it right here.
Definitely. You know, I've been here for 6 months, and to be here for 6 months and be a part of something so great, it's truly amazing.
Yeah. I remember when this class entered in the fall of 2016, and the excitement we felt on move-in day. I tell people all the time, this is the only other day of the year I'm willing to get up this early.
You know, I've done my share of move-in days. I used to work in housing in my career. Now I am in the Office for Inclusive Excellence. And I will say the one thing I do miss is move-in day. Seeing all the bright faces coming into the dorms for the first time and on campus is one of the greatest feelings ever.
Yeah. And this is just another new beginning for this class. They've already gone out into the world. They're doing amazing things. And I know I, for one, am really excited to see what comes next for them.
Definitely, and I'm sure and I know that Vanderbilt has prepared them greatly for what is happening in their futures and all their endeavors.
Yes, we've heard some excellent interviews today, heard from some really special guests, and we're getting all the buzz on the field today about getting ready to cross that stage. So we just want to say that we are so excited to be with folks, so thankful for the time and energy that students put into their Vanderbilt career, and just really, really happy to be back with the class of 2020 today.
Definitely. I'm really great and appreciative that we were able to make this ceremony a reality for all of our 2020 graduates, those who are here in the stadium, as well as those watching online.
It's definitely a new type of year, but we are so excited to get started here in just a few minutes. We just also want to remind folks to practice those social distancing measures. If you haven't found your seat yet, definitely head that way as we get started. And of course, as you can see, Franklin and I are both wearing our masks. Doesn't have to say Vanderbilt on it, but we love when it does.
Agreed. Masks up. We all have to do our part. We're about to conclude our opening ceremonies and make way for the festivities ahead. Thank you for joining us and for observing all our health safety guidelines.
We want to extend our congratulations to all our 2020 graduates. We are so proud of you. You've waited a full year for this momentous occasion, and we just hope you savor every moment. Have a tremendous day celebrating your accomplishments and looking ahead to a bright future.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cynthia Pascal, the University Marshal. The commencement exercises will begin in just a few moments. Please remain seated as the procession parties from each school enter the stadium. Information on the entire ceremony is in the commencement program, which is available at vanderbilt.edu/commencement. Before we begin, there are 5 key points I would like to cover. 1, for the health and safety of everyone at commencement today, you must always keep your mask on and maintain 6-foot physical distancing from those not part of your immediate pod. 2, there will be official photographers taking photos of each graduate as they walk across the stage. We ask that all persons, including those wishing to take pictures, to remain in their seats so that the ceremony will not be disrupted, the view of others will not be blocked, and the event will be as safe and healthy as possible. 3, there are 2 first aid stations, one located near section G, as in graduation, and one located near section P, as in Paul, in the event that you need attention. Commencement staff are distributed throughout the area for your assistance. 4, graduates, please be sure you are in the correct seat. This will ensure that when you cross the stage, you will be in correct order and that you are in the right spot when your name is announced. And remember to take your phone with your grad pass with you. 5, lastly, Let me reiterate again the necessity for all guests to stay in their seats throughout the ceremony. This helps us to maintain physical distancing for the health and safety of all. Thank you. Please take your seats. We will begin shortly.